Hello everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing well on this gloomy afternoon here in Auckland, New Zealand. How's our stream? Should be streaming to all three platforms, Twitch, Kick and YouTube. Just having a look at things. All good so far? How's our audio? How's our video? Okay. This is our second attempt at streaming today. There was a bit of breakage. And we're just going to pretend like nothing happened. We'll start up a whole brand new stream. Fingers crossed we'll be okay. Second final attempt. Okay. Alright, today's stream we're doing a retrospective, IRL retrospective of the year that was 2025. We're saying goodbye to 2025 as we're a few days away from the new year, 2026. Okay, let's grab the camera. Had to low to the ground on the mini tripod to get that angle you could see. I'm going to switch it to the lightsaber in a bit. That's the 360 and the Visi selfie stick. Let's jump into the shelter here, away from the rain. Okay, nice and dry in here. Also pretty cool looking, what do you think? We'll grab a seat in this spot where we'll hopefully be fine for our connection and everything. Okay, one moment. Got two phones on my lap. Got the lightsaber here. Take you guys off the mini tripod. That's what I had you on before. To get that low to the ground look. Now I'll pop you onto this one. Spin you around. Hello. How are you? Happy almost New Year. Throw the little mini tripod back in the bag. Don't need that now. Always had that in there, just in case. Okay. Just get all the gear ready. Alright, good. How's our lens? Got any water droplets on there? Don't think so. I think we're okay. Let me know if we do get one there, because that can be very annoying. You have this like little droplet, you know, on the camera, and you can't help but look at it. You're like, I really like what Cliff was saying, but there's that thing on the screen, on the camera. Let me know. Tell me, please. Okay. Yeah, not a very good day today. It's a bit yucky, you know, this weather. And apparently the weather is going to be like this right into the new year for us down underland. It is supposed to be summer. I wish someone would tell the weather that. Which is why I often joke about Auckland having about a week or two of summer in March, and that's it. You know, the rest of summer is basically like this. It's not true. There are moments of good weather, and then moments like this. Okay, alright. So earlier we had Mansour in the chat. Hey Mansour. Hopefully you're still there, and thank you for telling me that there was a problem with the YouTube stream. And I've got it open now. Everything seems okay. Don't know what happened there. So for you folks who are curious about my multi-streaming setup, I stream to Twitch, Kick and YouTube. For two of those platforms I use Restream. On Restream I have YouTube and Twitch, and then I have a OBS plugin called Multiple RTMP Output to stream to Kick. So that's my third platform. That has been a big part of this year actually. I'm not sure when I started doing it, but I decided that I was going to stream to all three and then learn the ins and outs of each. Because I've been streaming on Twitch the longest. I think 4 going into 5 years now. Every week. Sometimes daily. I've changed up my schedule so much, but at least once a week in that like 4 years. And then I added which one was first? YouTube, I think. Added YouTube, which may have been last year, 23 or 24, and then more recently Kick. And it's been awesome. Made friends along the way, and thank you everybody who has followed and subscribed in 2025. A couple of names come to mind, and there would be Silvery Bay and also Masingo2141, who have been members on my YouTube channel for, I think we're going on maybe 10 plus months. So thank you guys for supporting what I do. And everyone else as well. You may have noticed in the credits section there, I've removed the bit where I'd have subscribers' names. Now, I've done that because it's just really hard to keep track of subscribers. If I could find a reliable way of doing that, then I would do it. But I haven't figured it out yet. So at the moment, I have to download a file from Twitch in order to get my subscribers list. So it's very manual, and I have to check it every now and again. I wish I could automate that somehow. And then on Kick, it's just guesswork. So who subscribed? I think that person subscribed. Did they change their username? So I have no info on that. Now, I think there are services you could sign up for. You have to pay another subscription fee kind of thing, and then they'll track who has become a subscriber. Now, I can track subscribers if someone subscribes during the stream, but if they subscribe when I'm offline, I have no way of knowing that, unless I have like a bot thing that's active all the time, which is what some of those services do. Then, yeah, I don't know. So I have to rethink how I thank people in my little credits thing. The YouTube section, YouTube members is easiest because that doesn't really change much, So thank you to both Masingo and Silvery Bay for being members. It's really easy for me to check. The other things though, because they change, they could be member 1 month, not a member, and then they change your username. So yeah, hard to track everything else. So I'm going to figure something out for that. My current priority is the camera app that I've been working on. That's taking up all my time at the moment. In fact, it is trumped working on my streams. I've noticed there's some bugs with my stream. I'll iron those out once I've got this camera app working the way I want to. Anyway, yeah, so let's go back to the topic, which is 2025, an IRL retrospective. I think I want to share my screen with you guys. So let's cover the gear that I've used over the last year. Now I know this is me kind of thing, but you might find something that you like with whatever gear I've used in that time. So that's why I kind of try to track or take photos of my gear, because it has changed so much over like the 2 years, 3 years I've been an IRL live streamer. It's gone through so many different iterations, and even though I may not be using something that I was using a lot in 2023, you might see and go, wow, actually Cliff, what you're doing now isn't really my thing, but what you did way back then, that is perfect for what I'm doing. So that's the idea of showing you my gear, especially the first part of 2025. From January to March, there were lots of things that I was playing around with. I think you'll find it interesting. So let's try and do that. Everything okay on the stream? Are we alright? Twitch, okay, YouTube, are we okay? You see me, you hear me? We haven't gone offline, hopefully, on any of them. I think we're okay. If you did want to comment, you can do it in the YouTube live, just VOD later. But if you're not watching this live, you can do that. If you've got a question, do that. Just pop those into the comment section for the live. Okay? Right. So I'm just going to move that to the side. I'm going to try and do a screen share. Should we look at 2023? Okay, now we'll go towards the end of 2024, which I have done here. Okay. Right, this will do. Okay. So I'm going to do a screen share, start broadcast, and hopefully that's going to work. Just going to check the live, my preview here, and see if that's going to pop up. Do we have a screen share? No. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. There's a bit of a delay on my preview. Okay, cool. Alright, so what you see here at the very top is the end of 2024. And some of this I still use. Let's wait for the announcements to wrap up. Yeah? Are you guys done? Okay, right. So what we're looking at here is my iPhone 11. We're using Mobin. Yep. An older version. It has gone through lots and lots of updates since then. We've got the HoloLens Lark M2 receiver plugged into the iPhone, and we've got the Ulanzi JJ02 mini tripod. Now this kit I can basically do now. Like, I still have the HoloLens. I always carry the JJ02 on me. It's so portable, fits in my bag, takes up literally no space. And that's what I would use if, let's say, I just want to do a quick easy stream, you know. It can take a little extra work to get the chest mount for the Action 4, to get the Action 4, get the tripod for that. So if I want something really minimalist, then this is a good setup. And you could swap out the HoloLens for the Ulanzi wireless mic system that I've talked about, or the DJi mic mini, which I'm a big fan of. I use that all the time, like here. Okay. And then as we swipe over, we went to Franklin Road. We've done that very recently for the Christmas lights. And we have the Hohem iSteady V3 gimbal. Still have that. We've got the DJi mic mini receiver, and I would have been wearing the transmit as well. And we've got, I think, S23 Ultra with IRL Pro. I think I use that setup because with that version of IRL Pro, I could do picture-in-picture mode, which I can't do anymore. I had to roll back to the public version of IRL Pro. Okay, we had some in the chat there for a second. It was really quiet. Now these announcements are just going off. I'm going to swipe over to Mobin, where I can see the chat. We have, let's see, Cuz, it's Chris. Hey Chris, how are you? Hello. We are in Auckland. We're downtown in the city, and near the ferry body. One of my favourite spots is Queen's Wharf. Yeah, good vibes. And we've got some shelter here, although it doesn't appear to be raining at the moment. Welcome, Chris. Let's go back over. So this setup I can use, although if I want picture-in-picture mode, I would probably use Mobin instead. And one of the great things about Mobin is you can have anything in picture-in-picture mode, you know. So this I wouldn't really use anymore. Now, one advantage of the setup is it's great in low light because of the gimbal, which I can't do with the Action 4. And when we revisited Franklin Road recently, I took the Action 4 with me, no gimbal, and it performed well right until the very end of the stream in some dark areas. That's when you could see the sort of ghosting thing that you can get with action cameras. So it probably would have been better if I could have used the Pocket 3 in low light situations, but most of what I do, the Action 4 is great, just not for low light. What are you doing? We're doing a retrospective of the year that was 2025, and we're going over the gear that I've used for IRL live streaming, starting from the end of last year, 2024, just so we've got something to compare against. And then we're going to go right up until what I'm using now. So if into IRL live streaming like I am, and you might find a version of the gear that I'm talking about that could work for you. Yeah, cool. Right, so moving on to the very beginning of this year, back in January, I thought I'd try live streaming with my full frame camera. Now this kind of setup is great if you're in one place. If you're not going to move, now you can see I've got a Sony a7 III with a 35mm lens. That's the widest lens I've got. Well, yeah, widest, nice lens that I've got for that camera. I've got a kind of like gorilla pod, a tripod thing. I had a place to put my phone, like my chat phone, and also the phone that I'm using to monitor the stream. So for this setup, I think we were using the Axon, I forget the name of this device. So for this one, I would say yes, great if you're fixed in one location. If you've got a newer camera, you probably don't need that Axon. But yeah, the image quality, clearly nicer. A lot nicer than an action camera. But it's big. It's big and heavy. So it wasn't really something that I would pick up and walk around with me. Also, because the signal was using RTMP, which, as I've talked about on my channel, is quite a heavy protocol. You need really good internet for it. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're connected to great Wi-Fi or something, you know. Ideally, you'd want like a video signal from whatever you're using to go from that to using a protocol like SRT or RIST. RIST is a new one I've been hearing about. But yeah, RTMP, not the best for IRL. Okay, right. So moving on, I think the next week I tried a gimbal because I wanted it to be smoother if I picked it up and walked around. But the thing was just heavy. It was so heavy. Which is why you don't see many IRL live streamers of something like this. Now you could manage this for maybe half an hour or so. But IRL live streams, they can run for 3-4 hours like mine do, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. They can go for ages. So you're going to have issues with battery life, how to keep all of this charged, the weight of it, picking that up. People will see with this and you'll get denied from everywhere. Security will tell you off, say no, you can't come in with that, too professional, do you have a license for that, you know, things like that. Other people look at you weird. So that's why I gravitated away from this. So only if you're going to be in a fixed location, like an IRL fixed location. That's what I mean. So if I was to be like how we are now, not going to move, not going to go anywhere, just going to stay here. Let's say if I was a DJ on a beach or something, great for that. And you could set this kind of rig up, have it plugged into power, Wi-Fi and everything. Then this would be great. Really nice video quality and everything, you know. But nah. For what I do, walking around the city, taking you guys places, more places in 2026, then not for me. Moving on, not too long after, we changed up a little bit more, and that's we had a teleprompter on there. I thought the idea was I could look at the camera and read a chat, but I don't think I ever did that. So I bought all this extra stuff, and it just, at this stage I was realizing that this is just too much. Yeah. So I think this was like the last time I used the Sony and the Axon device. Quickly learned it was just too much stuff. I needed the e-scooter, I needed bigger bags and things to move the gear around. Whereas I want everything to basically fit in a bag like this. You guys see my little bag? So I can fit everything in that now. Okay, moving on. Now I think I've used this kit in 2024, so we did go back to it a little bit, or maybe, yeah, I forget. But what we've got here is we've got the Action 4, we have a gimbal adapter, so I could fit the Action 4 onto the, let's see, what is it? The HoRem. It's got the gimbal adapter for the Action 4, the HoRem iSteady V3 tripod gimbal. We've got a phone holder for the S20 Ultra so I can read a chat. Now this was mostly okay. It's still a little crazy looking from the outside. But one of the biggest issues was, how do you keep your streaming camera charged? Now that's kind of a problem with this grade of gimbals. They don't power your camera. I think newer ones like the DJi Mobile 8, they can charge your device, but at least around this time, 2024, early 2025, they couldn't do that. So battery life, very important for us live streamers, you know. How do you keep your camera, your phone, all that charged? And having a cable plugged into the Action 4, if I had a phone in the gimbal, it will tug on it, and then the gimbal really wouldn't like that. So I might go all floppy or do things like that. So I ended up stopped using a gimbal and then just relied totally on the stabilization in the Action 4. Okay. Right, then I went to something which was probably the craziest and not the best setup. It was a good idea in my head, but in practical terms, this was awful. So what you're looking at, we went to the Auckland Zoo and I wanted to rent a lens out. So thank you, Violet, who donated. That went towards getting this rental lens. So we had the big lens and I thought, we need some way of being able to live share. Why don't we just stick the phone on top of the camera? As you can see there, we've got IRL Pro in order to give us front back cameras. Well, I think we have the DJi mic mini receiver plugged in. Yeah. But if I recall, the footage was not very good. It was very shaky. It got very heavy. Trying to pick it up, put it down, take a photo, pick it up. I could only take photos in landscape mode, so it was very limiting. Yeah, this is probably one of my worst ideas ever, maybe. What do we have? Maybe the D-Link hotspot there. Yeah. In fact, we ended up going back to Auckland Zoo with a different setup, a lot better than this one here. In fact, they still haven't cracked the best setup for Auckland Zoo, because the internet there is rough. And it's actually a really good setup for a place to test IRL gear. Moving on, you guys might remember the cat cafe stream that we did. I think that was around Valentine's Day. Look at the kitty. Cat was so cute. He just came up, sat beside me, just chilling. I made a friend. So that one I really liked, because we just had the Action 4 on the mini tripod, which I was using earlier. Very small, very discreet. I forget how I was streaming, maybe with Moblin? Or was I using the Mimo app back there? I think it was the Mimo app. You should be able to find these on my channel. I've got most of these as live VODs that you can watch back. But yeah, I think at this stage I was using the Mimo app and an RTMP endpoint. So they kept things really simple. And I was using Loop SRT, I think, in order to do auto scene switching if my internet went down. I think in order to read and hear chat, I was using maybe IRL Link back then. Okay, moving on. So not too long after, we're still within January, March. What do we have here? So we have Action 4. We've got a selfie stick without feet. So you have to screw the feet onto this one. I've got a little adapter as a phone holder. And that would be the iPhone. Yeah, iPhone. It's a little bit dirty. And that is our setup at the end of March. Now moving on. So things evolved a little bit when we went into April to May. Here we have the Godox battery, what do they call it, battery grip I think. We've got a quick release Action 4, we've got the Insta360 invisible selfie stick there in order to extend the height up and down. This I don't really use much anymore because I think the minimum height is still quite tall, too tall for my setup. Hello, how's it going? You think so? I don't know. Alright, if you say so. Welcome in. How are you? Yeah, I think so. I've got plans and places I want to take you guys. Especially Hamilton Gardens. I want to go there. Hey, that's great to hear. So I want to take you there because I think that place is so cool. It's like the Disneyland of garden places. Maybe the next coolest place that I've been to would be the ones in Singapore. Especially that sort of fountain waterfall thing. That's cool. Oh, really? Okay. So, yeah. Happy almost New Year to you. Hopefully everyone is going to have a great one, and your 2025 was okay. You achieved some New Year's resolutions from the year before, and have to start putting some together for 2026. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, more of that, especially if I can figure out my camera. I want that working reliably. It's not there yet. I've been fighting with the AI to build it. I keep coming across bug after bug after bug. Also, want to make it better too than what it currently is. Anyway, more photos. And I want to bring the Fuji back in a way where it's reliable, it will connect. It's not really doing that for me right now. Yeah, there is a gadgety thing that I want to get, which I hope will improve the reliability of connecting with the Fuji camera. So that's really picky about what it can connect to. So, yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, try. We try, you know. Try. Yeah, sometimes things can get you down. Life will throw a curveball at you, but you know, you can only try. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Road with Purpose. How are you? Welcome in. Yeah, we're talking about 2025, the year that was, an IRL Retrospective, going over gear that I've used. Maybe you'll find something in here that you like. Crack up. On this other phone, I'm going to see if I can open up Stream Buddy. A new version, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, good to see you guys. Good to see you. Alright. Shall we continue? There is always a new version of something. That is very true. So true. That's odd. That's odd. The TTS was playing out the emojis. Usually Mobin doesn't play them out. Or maybe there's certain types of emojis that won't read them out. Okay. I have to look at that. Anyway, let's see. Back to our gear, and we're in April. So in this photo, we've got the Action 4 quick release mount. We have the Godox battery grip, so that'll keep the Action 4 charged on the invisible selfie stick, which I'm using right now. So I don't really use this anymore because the minimum height is just too tall when you compact it down. Whereas the minimum height of the invisible selfie stick fits straight into my bag, so that's why I really like it. Whereas this setup, I have to like break it down, put it back together, that kind of thing, you know. Alright, if you say so. Hey, no worries. Thanks for popping into chat, for chatting with us. Yeah, catch you later. Oh, Zoe. Okay, right. Thank you, Zoe. I'm going to add a nickname for you. I'll show you guys how this works. So, we can go nickname for alright, if you say so, and then we can say Zoe. Save. So next time you pop into chat, it'll read out Zoe instead of alright, if you say so. So I'll be able to say, oh hey Zoe, how are you? Pretty cool feature that's built into Moblin there. And in fact StreamBuddy, they've added that too. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they saw what Moblin was doing and go, hey, that is pretty cool, let's add that in. Right, see you, Zoe. Okay, alright, so moving on. Oh yeah, now what was that message again? Broker purpose. So you've decided to break down your IRL intersection. Yes, Prism, got a few months left on your subscription. Okay, like I live and learn, so I'll work on the network side first, then the Bella box, then your camera. That is a great idea. Yeah, make the most out of your service that you pay for. I do have the Bella box, so I will still be using that. So when I do a Bella box stream, you'll be able to just ask about the setup and what I'm using with it. Oh wait, so I wanted to show you this little invisible selfie stick. So that's what I had you guys on just before. Now it is actually quite tall. It covers me for most situations. I think it's like 1.4 meters maybe. And it has the feet built into it. Got a quick release mount here, so I can just compact it all down. It looks like a lightsaber, that's why I call it a lightsaber, especially with this bit on the top. And then when I pop it in my bag, it just fits on the top like that. So that's what I really like about this. It's very easy. So I just take it out. A bit hard with one hand. Like that. So that's ready to go. And then I could just put the Action 4 straight on top of it. Yeah, just like that. So next to no time. I don't have to get any other bits out of my bag in order to pop that on there. So real fast. I am a big fan. Right, now this is my Bella box. Well, one version of it. So I always had the Orange Pi 5 bus. Thank you, Met4D, who gifted me the Bella. I got inside a 3D printed enclosure. So that was meant to sort of keep things together, because one of the issues with the Bella boxes is that, you know, a cable can come loose and then it'll shut down, or things will bump into your adapters and this and that. So that was supposed to protect it from anything like that happening. I went through a couple of versions of enclosures, ended up kind of skipping all of them. In fact, I made an enclosure or a case for the Bella box, but I've gone back to using the metal case because, well, metal can keep the Orange Pi cooler, and also had the fan in it and everything. I couldn't get anything as small as their metal case too. I think it's possible, but Yeah. Anyway, we've got a 20,000 mAh battery bank, which was enough to keep the Bella charged. And otherwise, we've got Wi-Fi adapters. That way you could feed Wi-Fi into the Bella box. So that little thing there is a Wi-Fi adapter. So I could turn mobile hotspot on my S20 Ultra and feed that into the Bella box. So nice wireless, but wireless has its connectivity issues. So that is good to have as like a backup. But these little Ethernet ports, you definitely want like a Nighthawk or something plugged into one of those ports there. So that will be your primary internet. Either that or you have like an iPhone or a spare phone plugged into one of the USB ports. So that'll provide internet into the Bella box. So you need a cabled internet. You can't just do fully Wi-Fi. Don't recommend it. Now some folks have tried the M.2 SIM thingies that go inside of these. Now from what I've heard, mixed results. Some overheated, some weren't that great, some were great. So I don't know. I think that Ethernet port into a hotspot is the best way, or phone into the USB port. Alright, cool. Moving on. Now over the past couple of years, I have an e-scooter, and sometimes I'll put everything onto the e-scooter. Frees me up. I don't need to have a bag in a lot of cases, because the e-scooter has its own bag, so I can put the battery banks and things in that little bag that you see down here. And I started out with just one phone holder, and I'd have the iPhone in there, and then the S20 Ultra I'd have in my pocket. But sometimes it's good to have both phones in front of you, so that's what I quickly realized was good. I need to be able to see, have access to both phones. Anything else there? Not really. Okay, so we'll go to the next photo. Now here's another version of the Bella box. So I've got the Anker 250 watt battery bank. So that has been probably one of the best purchases. It's not one that I really talk about a lot, but it's got kind of like the silent win for the setup. That has been able to keep everything charged. Like 3 devices all plugged in at the same time has been fantastic. And I needed that for the first zoo trip that we went to. Because that was the biggest problem we had for that first zoo trip, is I kept running out of juice and my battery banks didn't supply enough power to keep everything charged. Whereas this thing has been more than enough. Yeah, so the ports on there, it supplies 18 watts, perfect for the iPhone. I have it in here actually. Okay, I think I need to get you a question in a little bit. So let me just talk about the Anker. First, get that out of the way. Okay, so Anker supplies 18 watts, perfect for the iPhone. We've got 45 watts, perfect for the S20 Ultra. And we've got 100 watts, which could be for anything else. So I could use the 100 watt port for the Ultra, the 45 for the Action 4, the 18 watt always for the iPhone. Yeah, and I generally only need to power 3 things or charge things. Maybe one thing like the iPhone or maybe the Action 4. So it's not often I need to have all 3 ports plugged in. And then with my devices, this has lasted about around the 8-hour mark, and then I've run out of juice. So for the trip to Seoul, it was plenty for that, because most of my streams were about that 8-hour max. Okay, right. So you've seen a setup with 4 of those linked via a U-green adapter. 4 of, you mean Wi-Fi adapters? Is it all dependent on Wi-Fi? I wonder if Ethernet was a good option, especially if I had to have a Starlink. I think you need a wired connection. You can't rely on Wi-Fi. That's what I found. Like Wi-Fi is great when connectivity is fine. There's no interference. But because Wi-Fi, wireless signal in general, is subject to interference, you're going to have disconnects. You know. And for your internet, you need reliable internet for your ballot box. So that's why I recommend you need at least one wired connection for the ballot box, whether it's via USB, it could be a phone, or the Ethernet cable, which you can plug to something like a Nighthawk. Because I tried to do fully Wi-Fi in the city where internet's great, and I've found there are times when the internet will drop. There's no internet, and it's because of a Wi-Fi thing. So yeah. But yeah, adapters are good. So folks have used like a 4-way USB board thing, plug in USB sticks. Yeah, so yeah, that's a physical, I guess. It's all about having the right configuration. Now, is the USB adapter thing, is it going to supply enough power? So the power is a big issue. Overheating, those are the two things. Also depends how many adapters and planes can you afford. So for me, I can do 2. So I have 2 5G unlimited plans. Only one of my devices, the S23 Ultra, does 5G. My iPhone is 4G, and my hotspot is 4G as well. Yeah. As soon as you add more Wi-Fi or modems, you're going to need modems, plans. The cost goes up, you know. Whoop. Okay, let's move on. So we had the Anker battery bank in there. We've got the ballot box. So this was another further development with enclosures. We have IRL link, I think. IRL link, yeah. You can tell by that little thing. See that purple text, green text there? That was very much a IRL link thing. I've heard that IRL link has crossed the rainbow bridge, the digital rainbow bridge. It's no longer being worked on anymore. I would say your best bets would be StreamBuddy. StreamBuddy is a really good app. I really like it. It is a subscription app to unlock all the features. That's one thing. I think it's like $5 a month, so it's not too bad. StreamBuddy, Mobin, fantastic. That's what I use. And real-time chat, I think that's still going. Now, real-time chat, I think it's either iPhone or Android. I haven't used it in a while, but it's another good one. But my favorite out of them would be Moblin, because I can do everything on the one phone. That's my streaming phone, it's my chat app, it's my TTS, it does everything. But it does mean you need to be able to see the phone in order to be able to do stuff. So if it's in your bag, you know, it's no good. Who's that? Tim, hello. How are you? Sure. Welcome in. Okay, moving on. So we had, we've done the setup. I think I've shown you guys that sort of configuration, action for Go docks, battery grip. We've got the phone holder. Now, one issue with this is it doesn't extend, so you're stuck with the fixed height. Now, what I would really like is something like that. Basically, what I'm looking at now, but with a way to charge Action 4. In fact, I will be showing you something that kind of does it, but it's still not quite right. W. What is that noise? Who is that? Nasty JPEG. Hello. How are you? Welcome in. Okay, so here, I think I just wanted to highlight that we had the Action 4 with the invisible selfie stick, and we're using the S23 Ultra and IRL Link as our chat phone. Okay. Then moving on, this is my final enclosure setup for the battle box. So that's where I took it, I had like a enclosure that holds the Orange Pi 5 Plus. We've also got the battery bank there. So I kept it all pretty self-contained, but heating was kind of an issue with that one. So I was going off Deadly's recommendation. It's like, oh yeah, Cliff, you don't need a fan for the Orange Pi. You don't need a fan because it'll work up to like 80 degrees or something. And I was like, oh okay. Hey, Deadly knows what he's talking about. Sorry to call you out like that, Deadly. So oh yeah, it makes sense. Let's just not include a way to have a fan in there. So I didn't have a place for the fan, and sure enough, it got a bit toasty. And I think I took this to, what was it? I took this to the NZ CreatorCon event, and that's when, boy, it struggled hard, and it wasn't all that hot in there either. Connectivity was a bit rough. I think that's one discovery I found this year, and that is when your internet is rough, I think it really pushes your Wi-Fi adapters. Everything that uses internet, like your modems, so they go in overdrive and will start to overheat. So usually they're okay, most times, right? Good internet, fine. But it's when you're in rough internet, that's when they're like in hardcore mode. Yeah, because in there, they were hot as. Those little Wi-Fi adapters that I showed you. You can see it, yeah. That little Wi-Fi adapter, all of them, they were like little mini ovens. You could cook an egg on them. And so hot they were. And when I was at Parnell Rose Gardens as well, that was in November, everything was hot as well. And the internet was rough there. And why you do need fans, even in a cool place like New Zealand. Nasty JPEG. Is there a free or cheap service website I can use to IRL stream? It doesn't require OBS, so you don't have a PC for it. I'm using IRL Pro on my Samsung 25. I just need something I can use for disconnect protection. Well, my go-to in that kind of scenario would be Streamlabs. Streamlabs Mobile gives you disconnect protection up to 2 times a month. And that's available on Android and for iPhone. So they have their own disconnect protection built into it. But yeah, no one's going to offer that for free. There's quite a bit of costs with anything related to video. Streaming is video, you know. That's why I don't think there'll ever be a relay. What do you call it? Like a SRTLA relay service for free, or yeah, basically for disconnect protection there needs to be a computer connected to reliable internet. Usually that's your computer at home, which you don't have, so that computer device, wherever it is at home in the cloud, it's connected to really good internet, whereas your phone is on mobile, right, which is unreliable. So when it disconnects, that grounded computer, that's gonna say, oh, take over, and then show like a BRB scene, that kind of thing. You need something, you know? Pay attention. I don't think I covered that. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, there isn't a cheap one. Not to have like disconnect protection in the cloud. So the best bet would be Streamlabs 2 times a month. Otherwise, I think it's like $30 a month if you were to pay for it. Their disconnect protection is fine, but it'll eventually stop working, I think, from memory. Because I tried it out, I was testing it. I think it'll retry 5 times or something. Whereas when you have like a proper disconnect protection, you can go offline for 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. You can go offline for as long as as you want, Alright, if you wanna go with